I'm Matt Sargent with ABC Acres in Hamilton, Montana. We're out here today in our Artemis high tunnel, which is primarily being used for tomato growing. But in each bed we also have basil, calendula, nasturtium, borage, all great companion plants for tomatoes, which is great. We love our companion plants. We love diversity. They all bring in beneficial insects. Calendula has a nematicide, and they all have medicinal or culinary uses. That said, basil is one of my favorites because it really does attract a lot of pollinators. And really, let's face it, basil goes great with tomatoes. However, a quick thing that I want to talk about with basil, and yeah, this guy's looking a little sad, a little sunburned. We just transplanted him last week, so we need to give him some love. But one of the things that I noticed when I was a market farmer is I would get people all the time asking me why my basil was so tender and fresh, and theirs was always like woody and stemmy. Well, basil's kind of the gift that keeps on giving if you're pruning it right. And I think of it as pruning almost more than harvesting, because if you're practicing apical meristem pruning, you're going to end up with a bush and you'll have tons of shoots, and it's going to really benefit the plant, the taste, the flavor, and you're going to get more out of it. So I'm going to kind of try and get you a close-up look. This guy hasn't been pruned at all. Some of our other stuff has, but yeah, let's see here. If you take a close-up look, you can see we've got one long central leader, and down here we've got two leaf nodes coming out with other stems, and that's happening again here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to prune it above these two nodes here, and you'll see it in a second, and then I'll show you what it'll look like next week when we come back. Pretty sure you can still see what's going on there. Just in case you can't, just going to take it and cut it right at that junction. And so now you can see we now have two new leaders, and they'll come out, and next week they're going to look more like this guy. You're not going to be able to see me, but you can see this guy right here was pruned probably 2 weeks ago above the two nodes that I just showed, and now they've grown up and they're kind of taller, still kind of looking unhappy and sunburned. But you can see if I prune him or her right here, we now have these two growth points and these two growth points. So in the next week or two, we'll now have 4 new growth points, and it'll be looking more like a bush. And you can see that's happened with this guy because we have 4 different growing points there. So that's it. A real simple way with a little bit of effort to improve the quality of the basil that you're harvesting, the amount of basil that you get out of your plants, and to the benefit of yourself, your tomato plants, and the other plants in the garden. As always, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out. We love to hear from you. And until next time, happy growing.